Hello, long time no see. Yeah, I don't remember or anything works. Have to set up everything again. I'm not sure if the audio is going to be okay or not. I'm in a new place and I think the sound is a little bit different. I don't know how it's going to sound. I think the acoustics are probably not great, but anyway. Right, so what I'm doing today is I am working a little bit on a game I'm writing in Haskell with SDL. Well, there's not much moment, just a little bit of basics, which is basically a character moving around. The map is rendering, collision detection is working. I implemented Coyote time at lunchtime. My lunch break today. I was inspired and I made some changes. I did it yesterday. I think it was yesterday. Yeah, so basically to make jump easier. Like it allows jumping a little bit late. Yeah, like that. And yeah, just going to keep going and maybe stream a little bit the session, see how it goes. So I have a to-do here, to-do list, things I would like to do. So the idea of this is, yes, I wanted to write something with Haskell, and I was looking at the SDL bindings, and they're pretty good. They give you SDL almost exactly as you get it in C with the raw interface, and they also provide with another interface that is more high level and is more Haskell, I guess. So I'm not really an expert with SDL, but I know a little bit. And obviously I'm used to I have used SDL mostly in C, so I'm used to the C interface. So sometimes it's a little bit weird how it's implemented the high level. Yeah, but so far it's been very nice to use. I haven't had any problems other than perhaps implementing the game controller interface, so gamepads, because they had a high-level interface for joystick but not for gamepads, and I wanted to use gamepads because gamepads give you an instruction, so you say, oh, it's A button press, and that interface will tell you, and you don't need to know really about the gamepad. So SDL gives you an interface that gives you, it's going to tell you button A is being pressed. Yeah, but other than that, has been very good, very great. Yeah, and I have a to-do thing. Okay, so why I'm doing this? Yeah, so I wanted to write some Haskell, and I thought, well, why not make a game, see how it goes. It kind of has its tricky bits because Haskell itself. But my idea was to make something that is more like a jam game, not my usual game project for 8 bits. But I don't know how far I'm going to get, so I'm just adding things and see how it goes. So this is a prototype for a 2D platform game, and yeah, I have a to do here, to-do list, and yeah, let's look at some of the, okay, for example, this one is easy. Review the overlay layer. Is it needed? I've been thinking about it, and I think it probably is not. Because, so what is the overlay layer for? So the overlay layer is currently in my engine. My engine basically, I mean, this is so, I mean, looking at this, so this is internal data structures, records to store the bits from the tile JSON file that I want, right? This is some bits for the library I'm using to render JSON. Sorry, render JSON. To parse and load a JSON file, which is this bit here. Which is not a lot, really. I mean, considering JSON comes from JavaScript and Haskell is, type system is kind of strict. So with this, I get the bits I want into my data structures. And I mean, looking at this, this is a render function. This is doing the rendering. It's pretty minimal. I mean, I'm trying to do it. I'm not sure if this is very idiomatic, but I'm trying to make it nice, at least for me. So this could be probably shorter still, and it's very minimal amount of code. I mean, the collision detection is, so basically what I'm doing is the last layer is for the collision detection, and then the code I have, it will render all the layers. For example, if I get this red here and I put this on the other line, we run the game again, so it will show, it will render the layer on top, right? Now, it's all background because the way I'm rendering things at the moment is in the game loop. What I'm doing is I render the map and I render all the entities. So in order to have an overlay layer, I guess I will have to split the render on the map. Perhaps passing just the layer number, maybe. So we could do the layer number or the layer? Yeah, the layer number. I think it would be better. Because obviously we can change the JSON file without changing the binary, but it's going to be very coupled anyway. So it doesn't make any sense to make it extra complicated. So we could be passing the number. So my point is, the entities will need to be rendered after the overlay. Okay, what other use we could be having for this? I don't know, really. I mean, I guess we could have, yeah, I mean, I'm thinking about it. I mean, the overlay layer could be also interesting when we want to overlay, right? The overlay. We want to overlay something on top of the background. Yeah, but I think to be really first time chat is keeping GAM. No, I'm not really interested. Let me see. What can I do with this? Yeah. So I continue the message, I can reply, and I can do it. No idea how this works. This is settings. I have no idea. Highlight settings. Yeah. So the only person in the chat currently is the spammer. So, which is bad because I don't know how to get rid of it. Welcome to the channel. Turn on shield mode. Man, I don't know how to use this. Users in chat. I mean, I can clear the chat. And that's probably about everything I need to do right now. Anyway, let's keep going. Cool. So, yeah. So I'm not completely sure if I really need the overlay. I mean, I can decide it later. I guess if I really want to make any use of this, it makes more sense. It would make more sense if I split the render with layers. Yeah, let's do something else. Because I'm not sure if I want. Okay, review the move down speed. Yeah, okay. So this is something I have noticed. It's like that. This is something I have noticed. So, okay, so usually the type of platforming I like in my games, or what I have done so far in my 8-bit games, is that you can cross the platforms up and not down. And I changed that, and now you can go down. But I think this looks not quite right. And I think it doesn't look quite right because I broke it recently. So let's take a look to the code that is managing that. Okay, so the way I split this is, I don't know what I'm doing. So the idea is, well, you know, functional programming, so split things in functions. So Uday player is going to, you know, is using composition of different functions. And the one we're looking at right now is the vertical thing, right? So, okay, so this is the created time. Now, this is the actual jump. Okay, this is the code that goes down. Go down 8 pixel tall platform, not a deal to have these values, how can I hear, but yeah. So when we call the vertical, we pass the status of the control, which could be the keyboard or the controller, right? The gamepad. So it has button A or down and down, right? So jump and down, there you go. So, okay, so all this is the case where we're not going to jump or go down because there's no jump, or it's already jumping, or not in that speed of time that I'm calling coyote time, right? Then if it's not pressing down, this is the regular jump. No, that's not the regular jump. Oh no, yes, jumping through. Oh, this is the dust effect, yeah, when we add the entities. Alright. So in here, what I'm doing is adding, I think what is wrong is probably this gravity down. Just 14, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, then 14. Ooh, maybe, okay, so let's see, we can remove 3, right? No, yeah, but it's 0. Okay, let's try that, just quick and dirty. So these should have more frames with 0, so it will delay going down. That might be, no, okay, so that's not right, because now it's doing a city jump.
Every core computers now have primary control of critical vehicle functions.
Because if it's 0, it's not going to go up. I don't know. Sorry, what? I'm confused now. Oh, I see what's going on. Okay, because, okay. So, we apply gravity. So gravity down is the flag when we decide if we go up or down. So after that point, yeah, because I'm using I'm doing it like I do it in the 8-bit games. So I'm using a gravity table, and from the index 14, it's going down and the others is going up. So in here, it has to be gravity down, but then the apply gravity can be just 0. And that should delay this thing going down a little bit. Yeah, there you go. Perfect, I think. Well, it's not perfect. Yeah, but 8 is definitely too much. So, I mean, okay, it looks okay, but it's not what I want. Make it a little bit faster, shall we? Yes, because I mean it's going to be. I still don't know what is the game going to be. You know, what is the game going to be about? But I think I'm going towards a little bit more like arcade platformer. So there will be enemies, and you know, the character is running like my younger son says. You know, it looks like he's looking for the toilet to do a wee. So he's running. He's in a rush. Oh, that doesn't look good now. Does look okay. So, yeah, because it goes to 0. Why was 8? 8 is a lot. 8 is just going down the platform. So the gravity down is not doing anything really. Hey Oscar, how you doing? Yeah, it's kind of looking funny now. But 8 is too much. No, so it's not that. That's not the problem. I think now it's going to be gravity down. So gravity down really was 14. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So there are 2 more zeros, which is probably the problem. So if we, just for a test, so quick test. Okay, so that might be it. We are floating a little bit in there with too many frames. Aha, there you go. That's more like it. Ooh, that's awful. Okay, so why is doing that? Okay, so there is one thing we need to do as well. So yeah, I want to avoid repeat jump when we're moving down. Okay, so repeating. Okay, so at the moment you don't see the keys I'm pressing, right? But if I press jump and I keep the key pressing the key, it keeps jumping, right? And I'm not completely sure if I like that. See, I mean, I'm just pressing the key and it does that. The same happens when you go down. And that doesn't look nice. So I don't know. So I might want the player to press the button again, which is what I usually do in the 8-bit games. So is this then terrible or not? So the problem is that if I set it 0 here, that is completely unnecessary. In reality, we can just do this and return a copy of the entity with gravity going down. Will that work? I don't know. Probably, because we're increasing y by 1. So that will put it inside the platform. Yeah, so I don't need to apply gravity. I just need to set the gravity and we're back to the same behavior. So the funny thing about this is that I was showing the platforming engine on Mastodon, and a friend said, if you, he's very smart, by the way, because I think he was kind of trying me to implement this. And he said, so if you want to cross the platforms down, you just need to increment your Y position in 1. So automatically the code that triggers gravity, that is somewhere here. Where is that? Apply gravity. No, that's not the one. Update gravity. Yeah, the names are not great. So this will kick in, right? Because I'm checking the 2 points in the sprite. So basically I'm checking around here and here, more or less. I'm checking that. So basically this point and this point, you know, under the sprite, if it's not blocked, then, you know, there's nothing under your feet, so gravity kicks in. So he told me, yeah, you just need to increment y in 1, right? So your gravity code kicks in, and he's absolutely right. That's exactly how it works. So yeah, but I don't know why I thought that I had to call the, you know, do 1 extra frame of applying gravity, when in reality it's just I need to move the position of the character. Now, yeah, and you can do it. You can't do it in double platforms. It's the same thing happens going up. You're not going to jump and be trapped inside a wall, see? Until those 2 points I'm checking are free. Yeah, I mean, going down, I mean, it looks okay. It's actually working as a gravity. Now, acceleration is not quick enough because before you start falling at full speed, it basically hits the platform below, so that's why it stops. So I think this is good. It's a good change. So this is, what are we doing here? There's no sound effect going down, right? Should it be? I don't know. I mean, initially I thought this should be very quick, but I don't know really. I mean, at the moment, what it's doing is just basically, by moving 1 pixel, it's like the gravity is kicking in. So it is just like when it starts falling, for example. If I get here to the edge, it starts falling. Now, the only difference is that, no, it's exactly the same, there's no difference. Oh, wait a minute. No, we don't want to change this. Well, okay, let's, this is kind of okay, but it's not. So the problem is that we don't want to update, we don't want to move the gravity down. I don't know, do we? I don't know. I don't know what I want. Right, so what I'm thinking now is, okay, so the problem here is that if it feels funny when I do this, because basically every time we press jump and down, it resets the gravity to when you start falling. But because it doesn't have time to update the frame, that's why it looks funny like that. Now, if I really force the player to press the button every time and stop the repeat, I think that would be okay. Okay, let's do that. So, okay. Something like that. I don't know. I mean, a lot of these things is just, you know, how does it feel? And then just repeat and play it and see how it feels. Maybe when I start adding enemies and things to pick up and stuff like that, and we're moving around, maybe it needs further adjusting, you know, because it feels weird, it doesn't work for whatever reason. I mean, I'm thinking, you know, compared with other games, like, for example, what I implemented in, because you play that one, right? 9-9. So you're going to running around and avoiding enemies. If you are, I mean, falling one platform is kind of okay, but if suddenly you want to traverse all the screen and go to the platform on the bottom, and doing it like this, it feels weird. It's going to break a little bit the feeling. Well, okay, so maybe let's see how can we stop the repeat when falling down. Oh yes, I have more to group box. Yeah, Yeah, I was using Tokyo Night, isn't it? Yeah, it had a few issues, and Tokyo Night is completely unmaintained, or it was unmaintained when I was using it. So I ended with a fork and updated things, and then I realized that yeah, it's cool, but if I need to start fixing things, I'd rather go to Groupbox. Groupbox has very good support. It was unmaintained, but now there is a community behind it, and yeah, I don't know. I just went back, and it feels like home, so I think it was a good idea. Cool. So how I do this? Okay, so I have two options, I think. So how do I do this? So I think, because I have this, okay, so this is the module that is dealing with the controllers, which is super simple. So I mean, to be honest, this is kind of the weird stuff I was mentioning at the beginning, that I had to get with the raw version of SDL to get the controller. I mean, it took me a little bit of what's going on, right, to make it work, but at the end, it's very simple. You update the gamepad, update the keyboard, and I just do both. And you can use the keyboard and the gamepad at the same time for now. So for these, I have, for example, let's look at the keyboard first. So I have these two functions that basically update it tells me if something is pressed or not. So if it's pressed, return true. If it's released, return false. Yeah, that's right. I mean, it looks floaty, that's for sure. But it looks floaty, I think, in a wrong way. Because when you jump here, see, it falls. Okay, let's make this more. So let's make, for example, space here. So it feels like when you fall with the gravity, with normal gravity, am I to be able to get over there? No, I can't. Well, I mean, you can see more or less what I'm talking about. So when the gravity gets full effect, it falls like a rock, right? So it's not, too many undos. How do I redo here? Control Shift Z. So there. So yeah. So the gravity, it falls, but when we doing the moving platform down, it's not just, so it's not falling through. It falls one, then it touches the platform, and then you ask to fall again. But the problem is that at the moment, it's not really resetting the frame. So you don't see that it's touching the floor and then you trigger the fall down again. And I could be fixing that, but I think I don't really like that you're pressing jump, pressing it down and it does like this. It doesn't feel nice to me. I don't know. I don't think when I play games that's the expected behavior. So you jump once and you need to release the key and press again to jump again at the right time. So this code it's not doing that, basically. Because when it's pressed, returns true. When it's released, returns true. But otherwise, returns nothing. And no, it was the controller. It returns nothing. So it keeps the old value. And I think that's not really what I want. Okay, so I mean, it has to be super simple. Just like this. Let's change the keyboard only for now. So if we don't have a press or a release, then just the key is not pressed. Which is, see, I press. Well, you don't see me pressing. Okay, let's do something. So then I can get the controller. Maybe, I don't know if this is going to work. Let's see if you can see it. So now, if I press the button, it jumps once, even if I'm pressing it. Whilst I need to close the game and start again. Yeah, maybe I should have one of those things that you can see the so I don't like this, you know. I'm pressing the button and I don't like this, and that's part of the problem of going up, and then when you press down and the button is when it does the funny falling. So I think now it's going to behave the way I expect, which is basically if there is no information about the key. So if it was not pressed or released, then yeah, that's perfect. See, I press one and it jumps once, but it really doesn't matter if I press it down. Now, when it goes down, it's different. It feels you're on control. It's not your. So you want to go down, you need to, I mean, I guess you can see it, but you have full control, because if I do it very quick, like this, it feels that you have control. This is perfect now. This is going to be perfect now, because basically, you know, if you're playing a, you know, it's an action platformer, right? So things are going to, you need to move quick and you need to make split-second decisions or whatever. So in this way, it really feels that you have control. Oh, the controller did something funny. It was stuck on one direction. Yeah. And it works with the keyboard as well. Actually, it doesn't work. Oh, interesting. I know why it doesn't work now, because the gamepad has preference over the keyboard. So if it's not reading anything on the controller, haha, interesting. Is that such a bad thing? Well, I don't know. I mean, I know if I have joystick really. So we could be doing control joy or if we don't have joystick controller, then yeah, I mean, this is what I mean. It was a little bit hacky because we don't really care about the value. Something like this, it should be fine. So now the keyboard doesn't work if the controller is available. So reports here, you know, Sony PlayStation controller. So the keyboard doesn't work and I need to use the controller. It just kind of makes more sense, but yeah, I mean, with the previous code was working just fine. Can I write this differently? I mean, I can just do it a little bit better, perhaps. We could be doing CTL and controls and all right. No? What's wrong, Haskell? Couldn't match expected event payload. Oh, because that's not what I want. So basically, return the function that you need to use. And that's it. Yeah. Something like that. And actually, I probably don't even need to do that. I can just do this. Can I do this? Oh no, because we need to know controls. Damn it, so close. And then controls. Yeah, I think it's fine. I mean, if I was writing Scala, I would use a match anyway. Or perhaps what I will do, we could be doing fold here. What does fold work here? Oh, I have no idea. So no vector, okay. So it gets a foldable that it could be, for example, the maybe type we have, and it gets a function VAV. Funny. Let's look at example. So fold left. No, that's not what we want. See, I think it's because fold as is used in Scala is kind of weird. A workmate that had a lot of experience with closure, he didn't like it. And actually, I'm looking at fold left, which is not what I want. I want just a plain fold, and it doesn't have it because it's not. I don't know, I'm just not going to waste time with this, but I guess we could be doing I could be doing pattern matching up the update. It's probably not worth it. Oh, can we use cards? We could do return joy. So it's just then we do gamepad. I don't know why you call it gamepad. It's a controller. So, the events, controls. Otherwise, and it's just, can you please import that from that data maybe? Yeah. It looks nicer now. And that's what you get with functional programming. This is Perl all over again. You can write the same thing in a million different ways, and you can still go and ask someone else and they will give you a million one, which is fun, but sometimes I don't know. I like it at the moment, but I think I'm going to keep it like this. See, if I change the order of this, I think it makes more sense. So if I pass, yeah, why we need to pass, I mean the controls, you get the controls, then they get event. So we only need to do this. They gamepad controls, yeah, because we need to change the order now. Yeah, but it makes more sense. The old code was bad code. Yeah, because it makes more sense to pass, you know. You give me the controls I had before, and the events, and I give you back the controls updated. So the order I was putting things was not good. The order was bad, and I should feel bad about it. And now the benefit with this is that I don't even need to pass, pass the events here, because this one expects to have the event. This is much better now. Now this is going to break stuff in here, because we update the controls. Oh man, how do we do this now? Flip. I can't believe it. I know Haskell, I think. So flip, what it does is yeah, so it gets a function. Nice. So it does the swap. Perfect. Yeah, because the first this function here, this operator, is kind of funny to update controls. And controls is a reference, it's an IO reference, which is like a global variable. But don't tell anyone doing Haskell, because we don't do variables here. But yeah, cool. Let's see if this works. Oh, the Bluetooth gamepad is off now, so I can take it away and use the keyboard again. Yeah, it still works the same. Now, if I was in my day job, I would write a few tests, but I'm not going to do that, I think. All right, so basically, because it's press gamepad, you pass the controller button that you want to check. Your event payloads, and it returns a maybe boolean. So maybe means that it's an optional type. So it means that you could be getting nothing, which means that, we didn't find, so there was not control the button press or control the button release. So, you know, we didn't find any of those events, so we return nothing. If we found a button press, we return a value, which is true, and rewrapping just because we have a value instead of nothing. So yeah, maybe Boolean, it gives you 3 values. It gives you nothing, true or false. Yeah, and then based on that, from maybe what it does is that we get the default value. I think it makes sense for all the action buttons to not keep the old value. In the directions, yes, because otherwise you will have to press left, 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 left to keep moving to the left. So instead, you press the button to the left, you keep it pressed, and that's it. So that makes sense. And probably the menu is going to be the same. You don't want to press the menu and make the menu, you know, get in and out. If, you know, menu is to cross, you know, to close the menu. So you press the menu button, it shows the menu, and you press again, you could be closing the menu, but if you press fix, it will. So it makes more sense to do it like this. Okay, so this is going to be super clean. I was using it's nothing already here. What for? Oh. Okay, let's do something. I mean, why not do it differently? So it's nothing, then update keyboard. No, it really doesn't matter. There you go. I don't care. I care. Did I break it? No. It's just, no, I didn't break it. Okay, so this is, so okay, so that's another thing done. Right. Okay. Yeah, it's much better now. Which I think I have that's the behavior I have done in all the 8-bit games. I don't like, you know, pressing button and the character keeps jumping. Yeah, it feels okay. I draw the effect, the dust effect, the particles effect when you jump, like in a minute. Like, I mean, literally, it's just some white bits. And I'm getting used to it, so I may keep it at the end. No, I need to make a better job with that. Cool. It works. Right, so what can I do next? I'm not sure. So let's do. So start point. What do we need? Okay, let me review what I have to do. and also it's kind of late, so I'm not sure if I'm going to do anything else. So let me give a quick review. So start point, yeah, I don't know how I'm going to do that. That is going to be it's important because, for example, what I could do is add an object layer here. Called entities, and then just make something like this, the size of the player, and say name. And that should be it, I think. But in order to do this, the map has to support that type of layer. If I save and we load the JSON file, it looks quite different. So that means that we will have to add a new type of layer. It's going to have different data, and it will be read differently because the tile layer, yeah, actually, I mean, we can try to load it. It's not going to work. It's going to say game unsupported layer type when we were running map HS. Yeah, so here I only implemented the tile layer, and this is an object layer. So yeah, I need to implement a new layer. Now, do I need to implement a new layer? Let's think about that. I think I do. But I'm not sure how I'm going to implement that because it has to be a different layer. So the tile layers have a lot of information, including this data here, which is the actual tile data. So basically, every single tile here has an index in the tile set, and that's what we get, right? So the data I need to store in the tile layer, is basically a list of integers, and I'm also keeping the name, but I'm not sure I'm using it for anything. So, you know, it's a list of integers. But in the case, you know, and I have layers, and it's only tile layers. And it makes sense because this is only information about the object. So what I'm thinking is that the object layer, it looks pretty much like a map, right? Dictionary, or you know, JSON object. Why? Because it could be that. So, or maybe no, maybe it's just a list of objects, and it will have the name and a position. I mean, that's what I do in the AP games anyway. So what I will expect is to have a layer with an object layer called object layer or entity layer, whatever. That is going to be, we will have a name, and it will have a list of entities, or maybe objects, entities, let's call it entities, that it will have a name and location. So when I load the map, I guess in game, so in here I load the map, And at the moment, I'm just creating the player like this. But I guess we could have in a function with a list of objects in the entities module, and it will just process them. It will go through the list, and if we find a start object, a start, it could be the player, right? So it will do this. It will call in entities, make player, and blah blah blah. Instead of getting this x and y coordinates, this x and y coordinates, we use the ones we get from the map, and that should be it, I think. So do we want a pickup? All right, so what do? We get another block here, not this one, this one. We do this, blah blah blah, and we say pickup, and it will be the same. It's just that it's not the type. Sorry. Okay, so this is interesting. So I can use the type and then use a name, but I like to use the name because style displays the name, and it's cool to see like this. For example, this is the map of a different project I'm working in with SDL and C, and I'm using the same idea. Yeah, I call it trigger. Wait a minute. Oh. Yeah, but this is the same idea. It's exactly the same. I think I'll probably call it triggers because it has a name, but it really doesn't matter. I'm just using the name to show here, and it's completely silly. So when it does unload, it executes this script here. So let's forget about this. Distracted right now. So yeah, I think I can do it like that. So I have a list of entities. I can use the name just because they look nice, or I could be using the type. But if I use the type, the only thing is that when we lose, see, it shows the name and then the type, but I can't see the type here, which is kind of bad. I don't know, maybe I can, and I don't know how to do it. Anyway, I think I'm going to use the name because who cares? And yeah, so that's going to be something I need to do. So before the start point, we need to object something like that. Yeah, so yeah, spawn the entities for the map data, and then in reality this should be like this. So start point is make player, and pickups, well no, pickups is going to be more work because for the player I have the entity already done, right? But in the case of the pickups, I need to implement the entities as well, because yeah, I mean the basic stuff should be very straightforward because it's just, you know, I need to draw a sprite and you know, draw them in the map, and then implement some sort of update logic. So what I have, yeah, so the update player has, I think what I implement, yeah, so for the entities, entities will have a couple of functions here. Update is you pass an entity and you get an entity back. It's wrapped in IO because the controller is IO, so I had to do it wrapped in IO for everyone. Although in the case of the pickups and the enemies, they could be just not IO because they don't have input output. I don't know, I mean, no, I don't think they're going to do that. So yeah, so you get an entity, you pass an entity, you get an entity. So we'll have to implement that update. In the effects, for example, there is an update effect here. The only thing it does is waits for a number of frames. Sorry, well, yes, waits for a number of game frames, and it updates the sprite, the frame of the sprite. So once from this one to this one to this one, and you know, when it's finished, it destroys itself, and that's it. Well, it tags it to be destroyed, so when we process the entities, we filter it out from the list, and the garbage collector will do everything for us. So yeah, and the block is just a dummy one. I'm not sure if I can do this in a different way, but basically it's a lambda, we ignore the parameters and we return false, but it's okay because it's never used. I thought it was easier to do it like this than make it maybe an optional type, because if we make an optional type, then I know that in the player is always available, but so yeah, I went this way because it's easier. So yeah, so in the case of the pickups, it needs more work, but in the case of the start point, it will be perfect, because with these three things, I have the entity system loading from the map just working. Cool. So that will be something interesting to do in the next session. So yeah, it's going to be all for today. Nice to see you, Oscar. I'm not sure you're still there, but if you found this interesting, Haskell is kind of fun, but there are a lot of things that you need to learn before you can start understanding how things go. Cool. Well, that's all for today. See you next time. Bye.